I've had some inquiries about my carbon fiber booms that I created for my Duotone foil wing and Echo wings that I use for wing foiling. So I wanted to briefly show everybody how I created those in lieu of actually having a video in the build process. So I built these for myself and refined them and ended up making them factory so that they're exactly like the booms they replace with no modifications or funky adjustments. They work exactly the same as the booms you buy. I've built a couple of more of these for a friend of mine who also got some Echoes and really wanted some, and so I just had him get some carbon fiber and I whipped them out as well. So basically the most important thing is you're going to recycle the head piece off the end of the boom here. You're going to recycle the clip, the adjustment clip, off of the other end of the boom, and when you get that off, the aluminum pin goes through these holes, so you want to gently sleeve this with some PVC or some sort of collar and pop it off quickly to get that aluminum pin out of that hole all in one motion. This adjustment piece is critical to save and reuse. If you screw it up, you can get a kayak paddle end piece. You can find those for sale on eBay, other sites, or you can just pirate one off of an old kayak paddle, even a cheap little plasticky one. This is kind of ubiquitous. I had to use an alternative to this part when I did my friend's, because when I took his Echo boom apart, this oval piece at the end was no good because it was oval, but I also did try to recycle it and use it, but it's a brittle plastic. It didn't have any give. It broke, as you can see when I tried to get it off, so I just abandoned that. But you can, it not only did that crack happen, but you can see the piece that broke off. It's brittle. It just came apart the second I even barely messed with it. These are a more malleable plastic. They could take a beating and they came off well. This end piece is the third piece that you need to recycle off of these original booms. It's the adjustment piece of plastic. I grabbed it with channel locks. You can see the tooth marks on there. You could try not to get those tooth marks on there. And basically it pops off of this end of the boom with some effort, but it does come off. And then I wrapped a tiny bit of electrical tape to make it fit my measurements. So those measurements are 30 millimeter outer diameter tube, and the inner tube is a 27 millimeter outer diameter tube. You can barely get away with 28 millimeters, but this clip here has a collar inside that if you do go 28, you need to file the inside out. If you use 27, you get to use it stock and you don't need to file that collar inside there for this tube to slide in and out. So basically the grip is fishing rod grip, shrink wrap, and it's critical when you put it on to spray some spray adhesive underneath and then shrink wrap it. At first I put it on and it just, after a few sessions, starts spinning around and moving. So spray some spray adhesive, tape it off to try to make it clean, put the grip on your section, and then heat gun shrink wrap that on there, and it's amazing. On the bigger boom, I wanted to save some weight, and so I cut this in sections because this adds a couple ounces, and you're talking a factory boom of 35 ounces. My booms are now 17 ounces and 19 ounces respectively. So if I had too much of this grip, I would have gotten right back up to 20 ounces pretty quickly. And it hasn't been a problem with the spaces. At first I was a little bothered by it, but now it's been a long time and I'm really comfortable with it. I'm sure it messes with my calluses, but no big deal. So basically the stock tubes that I've purchased are 30 millimeter outer diameter front tube, purchased on eBay at 1 meter long for 30 bucks. 27 millimeter outer diameter back tube, purchased on eBay for 30 bucks. And for the longer tube, this is a kayak paddle, and you can't get away with the 1 meter length to do your long boom because that front piece is greater than a meter. It's actually 50 something centimeters. You can see here it's about 48, 50 or I'm sorry, inches, 129 centimeters. So basically this piece is longer. You need to recycle a carbon fiber paddle or use Rock West to purchase that. Difficulty with Rock West is it's not metric, it's in inches, and so I stayed away from Rock West only because I really needed to manage my inner and outer diameters and be sure that I had no issues there. So key details are, you know, lightening this front head. It's the heaviest part, and so I drilled this out pretty aggressively. You want to maintain the integrity of the structural parts of the plastic. I got a little close with that hole there, but I've actually found no problem. This has been around for many months. I've been using this for a long time, and it's not getting damaged. It hasn't broken. The most heavy weight plastic is in this front here, and drilling that out, I lost a lot of weight on this. This is the heaviest part of the assembly. This weighs more than these tubes. That is the heaviest part. Get that lighter and you bring the weight down dramatically on this. These collars fit native in the 30mm outer diameter tube perfectly. This end here needs a little tiny bit of electrical tape to go in there, and the details to note are when you're measuring these booms to build them, you measure from to match the duotone measurements. You put your tape measure right there on the top of the headpiece, pull it across all the way to this eyelet. So that's the measurement, right to the center of that eyelet. So on my table here, I lined them up with the very end there, and then I have my measurements on the table. So right now this one is perfectly lined up for the 4-meter Echo at its powered up position, 161 centimeters, and you can see the red line right through the heart of that. You want to be exact. Those wings are precise, they're precision in their own design, so you don't want this boom to mess up. Basically, a couple minor details to finish up with. I lined this up with the holes perfectly like this, put them on the drill press, got every hole so that I have full adjustability. You want to save the foam from inside of this piece to put inside of this piece. No other sealings required. If you do it exactly the way they're built before, all water will drain out. They don't hold water, they don't hold weight, and they are an amazing improvement. The efficacy of the boom and the lightness and the quickness it's next level. The Echo wing becomes a weapon when you have this lightweight boom. It's a completely different product. The tail doesn't drop. The wing is more manageable and easily behaved. The speed with which you can spin it in your jibes is pretty dramatic. So, you know, ask me some questions in the comments. I might not have covered everything here. This is kind of cursory, but it tells the story. Again, eBay, 1 meter length eBay, 30 OD, 1 meter length eBay, 27 OD. That's for the small boom. The larger boom, you're going to need to use a paddle or Rock West to get the length. Rock West sells this stuff in 6-foot lengths. You might find some other carbon fiber resources. I went with very lightweight 1mm wall carbon fiber and have no problem with flex or break. These things, I'm foiling almost every single day with these. I just checked the calendar. I did 17 of the last 23 days. They get a lot of use. The bigger boom is going to be the bigger challenge, but the smaller boom can be created right off of eBay, easy as pie, with easy to find products. So again, ask me any questions you need in the comment section, and I'll see if I can get back to you.